Good morning, Dr. Phil show staff. My name is Casey Bryson. I wanted to give you a briefing on exactly what's going on with my poor Caroline Ashby. I know that most probably all of you, but especially Dr. Phil himself, is very familiar with the parent alienation syndrome. Specifics I will get to, but I just want to mention to you that over the last 5 years we have seen about the worst there is to see as compared to the parent alienation syndrome. Caroline is the poster person for parent alienation syndrome. You know, as I learned about it, I just couldn't believe that what I was reading. It was so similar to what we had been going through for 5+ years, you know. So December 15th, I believe, of 2010, I was pulled over by an undercover officer, and he kind of gave me a little bit of a story of why he was pulling us over, but it seemed really fishy. So when he let me go on my way, I called dispatch, and they informed me that it was a Santaquin detective. Santaquin is the city where her son and her ex-husband and his new wife live. And immediately I knew that they were looking for her, and I knew it was stemming from the ex-husband, David Ashby. Sure enough, you know, I didn't want to worry her, but when I got that information, I called her, let her know that they were going to be on the way. I was sure of it. And I was on the way myself, but however, I arrive, and sure enough, the detective's there, and we didn't want her to say anything until she had a lawyer present, so they had an officer follow us to the Provo City Police Department, which was the city she worked in, and had her attorney come right away, and they thought they had the evidence to make the arrest and book her into the county jail. Through a miracle, I guess, she was released on a $5,000 bondable release, and that was 2 years ago. And that wonderful young lady has been fighting tooth and nail to follow through with this court, and you know, they threw some pretty good offers at her to take plea bargains, and she refused. And you know, I admire her very much for that. You know, this is a quote I like to tell people of. What she said to me one day was that they say that a parent will stand in front of a train for their child, and she said, "This is my train," and it has proved nothing but to be that train. So we have a lot of appealable subjects. One very specific, the case law 412, that protects people's past sexual history. For example, I use the example of a prostitute who perhaps was raped and is a victim of rape, and that law was put into place so that the prosecution couldn't use, or excuse me, the defense of the person who raped the prostitute cannot use her occupation as why she got raped, or of course she got raped, she's a prostitute, or you know, of course, you know, there was sexual harassment, she wears skimpy clothes, something to that effect. It's a very, you know, it's a law that's put into place for good reason, but there's 2 sections of that law, and on each section there are 4 exceptions to not put it in place for defense or exceptions to put it in place for one's defense. And Caroline is clearly the exception under the first section of the case law, under exception 3 or C. I'm not sure if they number it or put letters on it. However, her constitutional rights were completely violated, and not to mention the child was not. It did not protect the child. It actually kept the child in danger, and he still remains in danger right now. The case law would have been adequate defense because the child was sexualized several years before these allegations of his mother. He was sexualized by some kids that were around him on a daily basis, and his father told him that he was not to tell anybody about this, and he finally told his mother and myself about these boys doing these things to him, and it was a year. It happened a year before the child told us the information. It disturbs me greatly that the ex-husband would keep that hidden away to protect his own custody. And it sickens me, and that is not a responsible human being or a caring, responsible parent, because we had obligations and the responsibility to protect other children as well, from being propositioned by our son, and we saw a lot of weird behavior, and so there's a briefing right there. She went all the way through trial. She's the toughest girl I know. I love her so much, and so here we are. I'm reaching out, and I told her from the day she went in and was incarcerated for this 10 years to life that I would spend every minute working for her freedom. And so here I am, and I reached out to you guys, and it's one of the many steps I've taken to do exactly what I said I'm going to do for her. So, and I'm not going to stop until she's free. I want justice, and I want justice, and I won't stop until I get it. And so that's it. I hope that satisfies you. There's plenty more you should hear. So I'd like to tell you, it's a big, giant, disgusting, ugly case of parent alienation syndrome. And now we've lost a loving life. Caroline has touched the life of hundreds and hundreds of people, and she's very lovable. I miss her very much, so I need to get her home. But thank you, Courtney. If you're the one watching this, I'm going to go put it on the computer.